Namaste, welcome everyone today to Satsang here in Monte, Sahaja. And of course, welcome all who are joining us via broadcasting from around the world to share Satsang in real time with us here. So, big welcome to everybody. Very good. Okay, maybe you come. Okay.
I didn't want to have a mental block.
Okay,
in
you've been
here.
wanting to come up for a number of times,
But I didn't want to, of course, have a block
you feel a block when you
while,
come.
while talking to you. I was concerned, I was afraid. And I didn't want to miss this opportunity and talk to you and come here and have nothing to say. And yet, maybe there is nothing to say. So thankful to be here. Thank you. I feel my life has been so blessed. Thank you.
Yes.
And you said something on the last satsang that to be open to hear what is it that message that you're pointing.
Mm-hmm.
And to back up a little bit, I was born into a wonderfully devotional Catholic family, and most of my life I've been searching for divine. And now just praying and adoring Jesus and Mother Mary. So now when I turn inwards, when I'm in that space, everything is complete. There's nothing that's not there. But there are also thoughts outside.
There
are also thoughts outside.
Doubts
Thoughts.
or thoughts outside.
That it almost feels like if I'm looking in, I'm only experiencing half of it. Because
what?
I'm experiencing only half of it because I want to have devotion.
You don't want to.
I want to have devotion to God,
devotion,
and by
yes.
looking inside me. So it's like, it's almost like I'm maybe in between what you said, those who search for self and find God.
Yes.
And I'm searching for God and find self.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, could you help me to?
Well, first to help you, we have to be clear, no? What is the obstacle? I think I'm picking it up, and I will try and repeat what I've understood, and then you can correct me. No?
Thank you.
So what it seems is that you say you've been brought up in a very Catholic tradition. You've always had love for Jesus and Mother Mary. There are strong symbols, devotion to Christ and the Divine Mother. Okay. But now when you begin to turn your attention inside, everything is vanishing. Mm-hmm. Everything is vanishing, and even perhaps the sense of devotion and the image of devotion, maybe also they are not found in this space, in this emptiness. And then something feels it must only be halfway, because I don't want to lose my devotion. And if turning in means that I can see who I'm devoted to, then maybe it's only halfway I've reached. I want to have the devotion. I want to be able to see Jesus. I want to be able to see Mary, Mother Mary. No? So just some misunderstanding is happening, you see. Because as long as you keep seeing Jesus in the form of Jesus, the form of mother, you listening?
Yes.
Yeah. Because sometimes just about now, strong distractions are going to come because maybe you're sensing a threat to your attachments in some way. But I have good news for you about it. So you can relax a little bit, okay? Although you feel a devotion to Jesus Christ and to Mother Mary of God, Mary of Christ, no? Then what happens when you turn inside? Somehow everything is vanishing. There's just a sort of a space. And something feels, no, I don't know if I want this space, because where's Jesus and where's Mary? But as long as you keep seeing the form of Jesus, the form of Mary, there persists a division and a separation also. Because Jesus is over there, I am here. Jesus is there, Mary is there, I am here. Mary is there, you see? And you feel a love for them in your heart. You feel close to them. You feel intimacy with them. But why only be close? Why not be one with them? Did they say only come close? Did God say just come close, but don't try to merge with me because I'm above you, in a sense? No? And I want to clarify because we do need to talk about this a bit. No? Nobody can be equal with God. But you can be one with God, meaning that you are in harmony with God. You're in harmony with the Christ nature. But as long as you keep seeing the form, you're also seeing separation also. Now something wants to keep this sense of separation. It may even feel that the idea of moving towards Christ so intimately that you may even merge in Christ's nature, you see, that sounds like blasphemy. Because I'm not supposed to do that. They must be separate. I can only venerate Christ. I can only worship Christ. But I cannot be one with God, with Christ. And he himself say, be one with me. You be in me, I in the Father. We are one. Come and worship my God and your God also. But we don't hear that so much in the religion made out of Jesus' teachings. Because sometimes the religions don't want you to go that deeply. Or maybe they themselves, some people, have not understood it in the deepest sense. Even according to the scriptures, the four gospels that relate about Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they were the four scriptures that were written by the direct disciples of Jesus. It's said like that, no? If you read them, there was not anything directly as Christianity in them, as the religion. He was speaking very directly. And each book is different. It focuses and concentrates and highlights different aspects of Jesus' message depending upon the maturity and the temperament of those to whom he was speaking. You see, some book, like the book of John, is a deeply spiritual book. The language is more poetic, more internal. Other books are much more external, to do with his actions, his work, his teachings about the law and such things. So each one has a different capacity with their relationship with Christ. Some people would think it is just really the idea of approaching Christ, approaching God, with a sense of going so deeply into the love for God and the service and the surrender to God, that they find that they are vanishing. That would be too much. No. You must always keep your distance. But that is nowhere to be found in any scriptures. Yes, be one with the Father. Say also, I and the Father are one. He spoke like that. You see? So, when you begin to look inside, then you are going into and beyond the form of Jesus into the very being of Jesus, into the same being that is Christ, the same being is the Buddha, is the same being that is Krishna, because we have to be completely honest here. You cannot have a God that favors one group of people and said the others just, I give you quarter, I give you a fifth, I give you 5/8, but you, I give 100%. No, the God is manifested in very different places, in different ways to suit the temperament and the traditions and the styles of thinking of each people, who he makes to suit his own work. You see? So you're looking internally, and what are you coming into? Do you think you're discovering something that is outside of Christ?
When I throw attention inside and abandon everything external, there is total completeness. There's not even a question of...
There's no doubt, no question. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's just... I'm not always there.
You're not always there.
And when I'm not there, the doubts come in. Not so much even doubts. I would not say doubts. It's just longing for that completeness that I maybe had through devotion.
Sorry?
Maybe just longing for the completeness that I had through devotion.
If you had completeness through devotion, you would not be looking further than that. If you had completeness through devotion, you would not have come to this path that points you to bring your attention more deeply.
Yes.
You see? And you're discovering something, and there's an uneasiness that is coming up, which I feel it is important to look at that uneasiness, because I don't feel that you're moving away from Christ by moving into a sense of completeness, because he spoke, come to me, all you who are heavily burdened, and I will give you rest. Isn't it? And I will give you rest means one who is totally at rest themselves, one who is in deep peace, one who is not separate from the harmony of the whole. Only such a one can impart peace. And you are looking, also by the grace of the Christ light, you can say, and discovering the peace. Not just a piece of the peace, but you're coming into the full peace. You said yourself, I feel full contentment and completeness, you see. I don't find any contradiction. I also love Christ very much. I don't find any incompleteness, any inconsistency. In fact, what you're doing is actually fulfilling the invitation of Jesus to be one with God. That doesn't mean to be equal. To be equal is something else, means something else. It's some competitiveness, some arrogance has to be there to be thinking like that. But to be one means to be in harmony with the God presence, the God field. And there may have been some reason why you feel that you keep coming out. Because maybe this feeling like, but it doesn't feel the same as when I was worshipping the form of Jesus. I go into the emptiness, maybe it's not complete. And maybe these thoughts help to pull you back out, pull your attention back out. If you say you come out, you say, I'm not there all the time. Why are you not there all the time? When you are there, are you different from there? When you're there, when you say there, meaning you're in the space of your inmost self, are you different from this inmost self? Are you someone being in the inmost self?
No.
You're not. You're one with it.
Yeah.
How you can come out?
My
if you come out, attention coming out is not the same as you coming out.
Oh.
Because it is true. Let's take a look. There must be something that is greater than attention, because it is you who can say, my attention is going out. You cannot be your attention. You watch your attention going out. But we have made a mistake because attention is so much an intimate power of the self that it is so intimate we refer to attention as though it is I. I go out, I keep going out. But this I who keeps going out is referring to your attention and not to yourself. Yourself has never gone out and it's never gone in. It's always been here. But nobody believes this, and nobody puts it to the test to look. And here, we don't just believe. I want you to look and to see, is it true or not?
Maybe one day, by the grace of God, will happen. that I get
Why
this.
not today?
Okay.
Why one day? One day is postponement. It means another time. Will another time be better than this moment? You say, I go, when I bring my attention in, I am confirmed in this place. I am totally complete. Total completeness. I don't have any doubt. I don't even have any doubt that I've betrayed Christ or left Christ. I'm so totally happy. I'm so complete. But I can't stay there all the time. And I said, who is saying this? We have to look. Who is actually saying, I can't stay there? It must be the sense of yourself that is acting like a tourist. I go inside, but I can't stay very long. I have to come out again. But something knows this sense of coming in and going out. And it is not coming in and going out. It's very subtle. And sometimes there is some resistance to putting your attention to confirming whether this is true or not. Because to recognize the truth of it is so powerful, it's so beautiful. Then it never divides you. So it's even the mind that is saying, I hope one day God will make it. No. Why not today? What is in the way of being totally clear about this? I'm asking you. You have to fight for this, you see. You must fight to win yourself back. It's not enough to feel freedom sometimes, bondage sometimes. It is just not true. It must be to do with some form of some delusion or something. You cannot change your fundamental nature. You can change your personality, the way you think about things and so on. That is to do with your dynamic expression in life. But before, where that dynamic expression spring from, this place is eternally constant. It's just perfect always.
So what is it that comes in? Doubt?
What that comes in? Yes.
Yeah.
Doubts become operative when you, the consciousness, is living in a self-portrait of yourself as a person. When you believe yourself to be personal, then doubts become alive for you. Questions, doubts, fears, insecurities, agitation, all of these stir up inside you. But they only come for the person. They don't come for the pure self. They don't come for the pure self. They come for the person. And the person is not a stable state. It is very erratic, very fragmented, never constant. Even when the person promises, I will never do this, they can't help it because they don't have the power to resist change. Some changes just have to happen. And if you force yourself and say, no, I'm going to keep my word, but at what cost? Because life is saying, no, let go and flow. Let go and flow. You say, no, I said, I promised God, I won't move. Like God is impressed with your stubbornness. good. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
I pray that
You want some water?
you are my water. I pray that the grace that brought you into my life a year and a half ago and brought me to Monte Sahaja will bring the words to say to you now. I think there's been some misunderstanding in my life and it's caused me suffering, and I want to get it clear with you because I know you know. You've already healed me so deeply from a year ago in a letter I wrote to you.
Yes.
As a child, I lived in the house of horror. My best friend was Jesus Christ. He came to me after the nightmares. I was too afraid to go to my parents because they made it worse. Because they told me it was Satan after me. And then I had to rebuke him in the name of Jesus Christ.
Okay, so let's slow down. So you said you grew up in a house of horrors, and many things were happening, and your best friend is Jesus Christ.
Yes.
This is fantastic. Yeah? If your best friend is Jesus Christ, you are in the best company, first of all, no? And then you say that some things were so painful that you were afraid to call out to your parents because they would tell you that you're being haunted by the devil or something like that. Is it true like that?
Yeah, I missed a piece, sorry. I had really bad nightmares.
Nightmares, okay.
And when I would go to them for comfort, they would tell me that Satan was possessing me.
I see, okay.
And that not to bother them, but to rebuke Satan.
I see.
So like at 3 or 4, I would be in my bed and I would pray to Jesus to come, and if he was busy, to send the Archangel Michael. And I would just pray. And I've had such bad nightmares my whole life that I've had to have like surgery done on my teeth. And I had bruises on my legs when I'd wake up from where my fingers were kneading. Yeah. And all of these things, phenomenal. But when I wrote to you,
Yes.
I wrote to you this very thing. And you asked what the night, you said, and I wish I knew what these nightmares were. Or you said something like that. And they're always of me being hunted by God.
That there were always of you
They're
being
me being hunted
hunted.
by God and by Satan both. And I'm always looking for Jesus. Because I grew up with a Christian God that hurt the children and drowned the world. And I didn't care for that God.
Okay.
That's why I said I
Who
need
taught
to
like
talk
that?
to
Who
you.
taught that God was hurting the children and drowning the world? Which religion taught like that?
The Christian Bible, like where the children die and where the Noah's Ark and drown the world and that
But
kind of
did
thing.
you read that yourself or somebody told you?
In Sunday school.
Huh?
In Sunday school.
Yeah, because this is what happens a lot, is that in some places you are not allowed to read holy books by yourself. They had to be read by somebody else to you. I only learned of this much later. You see, that somebody was given the job to read to you from the book, so to speak, and they change things. Even sometimes already in the book is changed already. And then on top of that, people are reading already that and interpreting sometimes even this again. And you're listening to them and thinking, this is what's in the book. You have to read the book yourself. And not only read the book yourself, to see if your heart can confirm what you read. Initially, when we read something, we have no way of knowing if this is true or not. But as you begin to discover your inmost being, some power comes to help you to understand the deeper significance of what you're reading. It does come. But initially, if somebody is interpreting on behalf, of all the people, so maybe they may tell you, because I am telling you, what you have said is not in the Bible. About the book Noah's Ark and stuff, about children drowning, and it's not like this. Maybe it has been remembered in a different way, but it's not written like that. There are things there that will challenge your thinking, of course, but many inaccuracies are said about the Bible which are not quite true. I think the intention might have been good, because sometimes people read and they try to give you to read the bits for you that really help you to grow in faith or something. But there are others that might read things to frighten you, to make you be afraid, and to teach you about a God that is full of judgment and is watching every step you make, and sort of like saying, okay, you're going to go to hell, my dear, and all this type of stuff. But that is not true. It is not true. Not God as I know God. It is not true. It's just nonsense. People write these things to frighten, because there was a time when some religions really exploited the people and brought a lot of fear that, if they gave more money to the church, they would get a special place in heaven. And people believe these things. And if they did wrong, they were going to go in this, they were going to be in hell forever. And, we've heard these things. And they're not good stories at all. So no wonder people are afraid of them. But that's not how it is written.
I know that now that I met you.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop listening to you, and I would even sleep with Satsang on my headphones. And, well, anyway, the healing came after you had, I just was mentioning what it was, because you had asked at that time what it was, the nightmares they were about, or were actually about me being hunted all the time and not having any place to hide. I'd wake up and pray to Jesus, and I would have something that would come. I forgot all about that until the time when you read my letter and responded and had the Sangha do a mantra. You began and they followed. And it was like there was just this flood of, I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah.
it was like that presence that was there when I was 3 or 4 came. I felt it.
Yes.
And it took me. And it was like baking soda on a car battery, just neutralized. Not only, but everything causing all the nightmares, the PTSD, all the things, it just neutralized it.
Yes.
And for the last year, I haven't had one.
Yes. Very good.
And I need to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
The other misunderstanding was about Jesus. The same lovely people told me that if I hadn't been born, Jesus wouldn't have had to die. And
Some 3 people told you that what?
I said the same lovely people, told me that Christ died for my sins. I said, what are sins? I was little, and I didn't understand sin and what it was. And basically the gist of it, how I understood it was, the conversation evolved to, if I hadn't been born, which, I wasn't wanted, but the word was, if I hadn't been born, Christ wouldn't have had to die for my sins. And my response immediately was, then I'll take my life. And the spirit of suicide came in. And at 10, I tried to take my life to reunite with Jesus. But you've reunited me with Jesus.
Yes.
And I love you so much. And I just want to be with him all the time. In your pointings, I'm following them, and the inquiry, who is it that is crying right now? I get kind of stuck at the self part where in the inquiry where I don't know what next to say.
Okay. Have you been benefiting from the inquiry?
Yes.
Okay. So then we can continue then. Because if you're suffering the inquiry, I say, okay, maybe give it a rest. But if you're feeling that there's a power in the inquiry, then let's move on. And you just say just now that when I'm inquiring, and you gave perfect example, in the moment you say, even as these tears are coming, who is crying right now? And then you say, then something gets stuck with that. So let's take it from this point then. Obviously, there's an awareness that some crying is happening now, or whatever other emotions are happening. There's an awareness, a field of knowing or awareness that watches this crying, and this question comes from there: who is crying? You see? And then the natural response would be, I am crying, no? I am crying. It seems like obvious. A question can still continue to come to say, but you who are crying, who are you that is crying? Who are you that is crying, you see?
Nobody.
You see, then you see, not many people will catch it so quickly. But you are saying, actually, the crying is just happening. Actually, nobody's actually crying, no? Because if there's an identity there that says, yes, me and I'm crying, then in somehow there's this confusion continue, like if you start to feel sorry for yourself and judgments are coming. But when you see there's just a crying happening, and that there's a freeing up of that, and there's a space behind from where this knowing or watches somehow, then and confirms there's no one really suffering anymore, except the memory or an idea I have of myself, and I've had for a long time, that takes ownership or identifies, I am crying, my life is so bad. But when you look, say, well, whose life is so bad? You find nobody. Now, not everybody gets that, but some actually say, my God, there's nobody who's actually suffering anything. And then sometimes this kind of laughter is coming, and who's laughing also? It's like, nobody's laughing, it's just laughing is coming. So I cannot assume everyone gets it in quite the same way, because if you have a strong sense of identity, this might sound ridiculous. Why is he asking her who's crying? It's obvious she's crying. You see? But when you are inside looking, becoming accustomed, you begin to see. But there are many things that I say which are not quite how it is. And amongst them, this is one of the most powerful, because I keep creating an identity for myself which is not needed. And you begin to discover that there's a space somewhere We used to think it's just inside this body, but it's greater than being just inside this body. It seems like it's not bound at all by anybody. But when I say I, it seems like this I fills the whole of this space. Wherever that space is, it seems immeasurable even. When you begin to experience some things like that, your life will not be the same. The sense of being some tiny person in this big ocean of existence, things will begin to change. You're beginning to perceive from the perspective of consciousness and not just as a person. So the person has sort of become presence, like a feeling of presence, a presence of just being. And that is going to have a tremendous impact on the way that life is being experienced in you. Much more joy, much more space, much more light, more wisdom. You see, more empathy for other beings. And it doesn't stop, it keeps unfolding and expanding somehow. We don't know where does it stop. And yet at the same time, there is a background to this which seems to be unchanging. These are not things that make sense only to the rational thinking. It seems to happen in some mystical dimension within yourself. We can't explain them like we can explain describing objects, because it is not an object. It is the Spirit of God, which is inside every living being, being discovered, being recognized, to your great joy.
So when I said I get stuck, I guess I mean I can get to a place where I know there's nothing, but I don't know what is, or like what you just described.
This is good, because actually we have been educated to feel that we can know ourselves. You cannot know something which has no end. When you say you know something, what it means, you know something, that means that we know about our personality. But even that keeps changing all the time. But you are constant. How many times you've changed? Your personality has changed somehow. But you say, maybe what I meant by being stuck is that I cannot explain beyond a certain point. It's like it's too vast. I don't know what to do there. And there is not a what to do place. It's a being place. And from there you begin to see that life is simply unfolding. Life is not answering human plans. It is just unfolding. Everything is just unfolding. Human beings, we are the ones who are the thinkers on the planet. We are thinking, all the time thinking. This tree here, it's not thinking, I think tomorrow I'd like to put another leaf, maybe. It's not thinking, it just happens. Or life is just happening. You wake up in the morning, did you switch on the day? No, it's just happening, it's unfolding. Is it your responsibility? Even breathing, is it your responsibility to breathe? Heart is beating. Did you make sure it's in the right temperature? Everything is happening like that. Sometimes you have to use your mind for practical functioning. Of course, like everyone, you have to do. But even that somehow is being guided by a power that you can't quite understand it. But it works. There's a harmony in it. And where there's harmony, there's peace and there is joy. And love also is there. The personal mind is highly overrated. It really isn't doing the job we think it is. It more complexifies and confuses things.
Yeah, my thinker thought gets in my way a lot because I used it a lot to survive, and now I gotta try to how to disengage. So I use the inquiry to say who's thinking this thought.
Yes, you're right. You use your mind to learn how to survive. But you're not here to survive. You're here to live. You're here as life itself, not survive. Who wants to more or less survive? Survive, they must attach you to some machine that is going blip, blip, blip. So she's just on the brink, actually. She's surviving. But that's not life. Life is to be and to be in your fullness, your joy and your dance and to express and to feel and to contemplate. And
How can I never lose you? I'm sorry, how can I lose the I that thinks it can lose you? Grace?
because of
grace.
your very insight itself, signals a countdown for that I already.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Very good.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
I need some help. I have some haunting memories that I'm really having trouble letting go of or knowing how to deal with. And I can get to the place where I can take it so far, and then there's a yeah, but. And I think there's a piece of I can't forgive myself. My identity is attached to this guilt and kind of a self-flagellation. I don't know. I was a member of a intentional community for about 24 years, and started off pretty good, but over time the group leader got more and more controlling, and I stayed even though it didn't feel right. And one of the things that he controlled in the group was the manner in which we raised our children. And I punished my kids, hit them with a stick, did things that I haven't been able to come to terms with. And one of the hardest things for me is that I knew it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't right. But it was the type of situation where you're either in or out. And I was married and had 3 kids and had kind of put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Yes.
And I need some help.
Yeah. It is not an uncommon thing, not an uncommon problem. I watched one program once, they were doing some research with people. part of the research was that they showed some people in a room, a glass window, but they cannot see you, but you can see them. And they were calling people, they were doing a thing about pain. And they had people, strapped up with these electrodes and things like this and so on. And they were saying to the people, you can just keep turning it up. We're just testing. These people have volunteered also, and just testing to see, that when you reach the threshold of pain for each one. Okay? So you just keep turning up like this, and we will be watching, and we are making some notes and whatever. So then people start to turn, and then at a certain point, they're looking at the people, and they start to go, oh, like this, oh. And the people who are controlling, members of the public and so on, they kept looking at the examiner, and the examiner saying, like, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Turn up more, and the guy's just looking at it. It's okay, it's okay. Oh, God. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. And actually, they would not stop. Fortunately, it was actors. But it showed on 8 out of 10 approximately people override their own feelings in order to, because this person has authority to tell you that it's okay, and you override your own judgment in order to say, okay, if he says it's okay, it must be okay. The guy is frying inside like fried sausages. I can see that, but he says it's okay. He's got a suit on with badges and things. He must know it's okay. We saw another experiment where somebody was called off the street to participate, and he goes into a room, and then there are 4 other participants there, and they were shown some very simple things. 3 sticks, okay, A, B, and C, and 1 tall, 1 middle, 1 small, okay? Put them in order, okay? Which is the tallest one, you put in the left, then the next one next, and then the smallest one third. You put it like this, A, B, C. So this is really simple. So he puts A, B, C, tall, middle, small. Finish. Then they did the experiment. They read the result. And everybody put them in the wrong order, and only he has them in the right order. And then the examiner looked and says, okay, all these people, correct, very good. And he said, what? He's looking, what? But it's obvious I'm right. And they go, oh, sorry, you got it wrong. And they did another 3 experiments like that. And all the experiments was ridiculously, obvious what is the answer. But he put the right answer. And then actually they gave him the wrong answer. And all the others got the right answers, which were the wrong answers actually. Then after the 4th experiment, he started to do them wrong. His own common sense. He started doing wrong to not be separated from the group, not to be isolated. Human nature. Human nature, you see. Now, where am I going with this? Where I'm going with this is that it is very difficult to rely upon your person and your personal conditioning, you see, to get things right in the way that we're speaking about. Only as you begin to come home consciously to where your true position is, because we are very much living in a very limited idea and identity, a very limited idea of who we are. And as long as we keep living with this egoic identity, all these things are present, these things may come. We do our best. Can we grow in this region? Yes, we can. We can grow. But it takes time, and habits sometimes are very difficult to break them. But as soon as you begin to discover your true nature, automatically all of your life is coming into alignment together. This is the thing I want to point. If you have to deal with each case one by one at the personal level, You know how much it takes for a person to change. A lot of habits to change, bad habits, and to do this. And we grow because we have this ability. But you have found satsang that is bringing you back to your true nature, to look from the true place. And how will you know you're right? Because here it will resonate internally. Just like when you're sick, you don't need a doctor to tell you you're sick. You know you're sick. You don't need someone to tell you that you're having a headache. If you're having a headache and somebody says, no, it's really a belly ache. You say, what's wrong with you? You know, oh my God, I got a headache. You don't need anyone to tell you, you know. In the same way, you know when something is not right. And you know when something is right. In the same way, as you come to the place of recognition, and harmony again in your heart, you automatically know that you're in a good place. You automatically know. You are already on that path of recognition by coming like this. What is happening now is the tendency is still there. The old regime of thinking is still there. Habits are still there because we are still identified with the person you imagine you still are or used to be. And those memories are seeping through from time to time. But if you pay attention to where you're being guided to now and from now, that all the things you talk about, you're aware of them. You're aware of them as past. You're aware of how they feel presently. You're aware of the memories of them. You're aware that they are not true in this moment anymore, although they bring up pain when they come. Where are you looking at these from? Are you looking at these from a place of the past? Are you now the past? Or are you not looking at the past? If you have a strong idea, I've got to make up for this, then you will not have the urge to take it on.
That's when I'm looking at it from the past. I mean, as the person I was in the past.
Because something might be feeling inside, I need to be punished for this, or I need to do something to correct this thing. And so something was retained from that period of time in the memory. Even though maybe your children have gone past it, maybe they may have gotten over that. Because some people, they don't all behave the same way through the same sort of circumstances. Sometimes they may have grown beautifully because of something that happened. But because in your mind, it was so wrong. And did you speak with your children about it after?
A little bit. They're still in the group. So
They're still there, yeah.
Yeah. So they're, some sort of brainwashed, part of it was I really didn't fit in, I had my own mind and I would speak my truth and it was really looked down upon. And I finally left and I was kind of...
Banished, pushed aside.
I was banished. And so, over the years, they've gotten the message that, I wasn't a good mother and I was somebody they shouldn't
associate with,
right.
You have to be willing, at least for a while, to leave it aside, all of that aside for a minute. You may go back to that when you're in from a greater place and look at that. But don't try to be taking care of that now when you're here. Try and get the best out of why you're here now. And then with that strength, you can look and see if there's anything you can do about that, if that past is still alive for you.
Okay. So when I look in every direction and it's there.
Okay. Okay.
Then what?
Okay. Let's start from. Let's take it from there. Then let's accept that your words could be true. In every direction you look, this thing is up in front there. Then don't try to avoid it. Then be fully present with it. And the thing is that you say, okay, this is burning right now. Okay, but you who are looking at it, that which is looking at in every direction, okay?
Yeah.
Are you that thing which you're looking at?
No.
This is the most important first step to take,
Yeah.
is to look and see that from where the seeing is arising from, is that place poisoned? Is it contaminated? Because it can sense the sense of contamination, it can sense the sense of the person and the person's pain. But is it a person?
No.
I would like you to put some attention on just being one there and try to see, okay, all this I can see in every direction, north, west, east, south, every direction is looked. These images are coming. Up, down, they're looking. But that which is looking, is that trapped in the bubble of those feelings? Yeah. In spite of saying this even, that, the one who's looking is not trapped in the memory of that thing that is being seen, maybe there's still so much charge, so much power in the imagery and the memory and the identity that, is there nowhere to go? Are you locked in the identity?
Not 100% of the time, no. But often.
Which means what? It means that your attention is there. Your attention
Yes.
is there with it.
Yes.
Isn't there something that is aware of your attention being there, which itself is not involved in that?
Yes.
Yeah, this place you must give more attention to. Bring your attention not to the crime scene, but to stay in the place where the attention itself is watched. Do you follow this? It depends also what you want. If you feel like, no, what I want is to tackle that thing, I want to do something about that thing, then you will keep your identity and you will not be able to go beyond the identity. You see? Mm-hmm. But if what you really want is just to be in your truth,
Yes, that is what I want. And
then we can work with this.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
it is.
I see. I go. I feel this pull,
Yeah.
and then my mind gets involved in. Well, maybe I just need to really get into the depths of this, and I haven't felt it enough, or I haven't gone through it enough.
I'll tell you, to go into the depth of it gets you nowhere, but just
Thank you.
getting entangled and sick for no reason.
Okay.
It
Thanks.
benefits nobody.
Thanks.
Waste of time. Because you may think you're going deeper and deeper and deeper inside, but you're just going deeper and deeper and deeper in your mind.
Thank you.
The thing
Thank
is
you.
gone, is finished. It's finished. But somehow it's like something is hooking in. It's almost to use the memory of these things to sabotage the present opportunity you have to be free. And you alone can change this also.
Okay.
You see, like that. It's important that these things go. Because it's not like you're living with your children and they're suffering. There's nothing you can do. They're adults now. And they're living in their own choices. You see, for now. That may change also at some point for them. And it may not change also. They may continue spending the rest of their life in that community. And nothing you can do about it. You see, we need to face some things. There are some things in life you can do nothing about them. You can do nothing sometimes with the people that you love, and they have it in their mind to go and do something, and you cannot stop them. You cannot help them. You are totally helpless. Can you live with that? Yes, you can live with it. It's life. In fact, it shows you that nobody belongs to you.
Mm-hmm.
Not even you.
Thank you. It's very, very helpful.
Because these things now, they begin to just blow off. But rather than be a container for suffering, Why not be full of freedom? You see, option is with you. And only guilt can make you feel no, because some people feel, how can I be happy when these people are sad? This is a very bad deal. Because to be sad helps nobody at all, except some sick-minded people who just like to see, who feel better to see you sad. So it does no good at all. And you can forget about God enjoying punishing you for something. This is just another kind of stupidness. It's not like that. So use your full power now. Because grace brought you out of that situation. And you're here now also. Big space, fresh air. You're alive. You're healthy. You have a lot to shine, a lot of light and power to shine from your life. Don't waste it on these old memories, which are also sometimes, not even accurate.
Thank you so much.
It's good. We were one time in India. We went to one restaurant, and we were in the restaurant waiting. It was sort of like we were sitting in this restaurant waiting, and then what happened is we saw these big tanks, aquariums, and we did some fishes, some very strange fishes. One fish, he really looks like somebody I know. He kept going up to the tank and headbutting the tank and headbutting the tank. And then this friend of mine, Gautam, he said, "Did you know that fishes only have 3-second memory?" I said, "Who told you that?" He said, "Yeah, they did research. Fishes have 3-second memory." I found out since it's not true. That's not true. But I said, "But this is fantastic. My God, can you imagine if we all had 3-second memory?" You couldn't be angry with anybody for long, Say, "Hey, come here. Oh, hi, how are you doing? Nice. You've gone?" We'd not be able to. 3-second memory. I like the idea so much, But then it turned out that the fishes, I see that, no, they have more long memory, some of them. You see? If we only had 3-second memory. But we're not meant to have 3-second memory. Because in the human being, consciousness is much more developed, much more sophisticated in some way, much more complex. It's a big ship to sail this human boat. But yet at the same time, it has the power to contemplate itself and to recognize and come into its own divinity. And this is something very powerful. Yeah, okay. Oh, good. So wonderful. It's very good, Sometimes, you could be the chance your family have. I mean, maybe you don't think like that. But I have to say like this because sometimes you stepped away from a path that maybe many people you've known or care about is still on this path or something. But on your own path, a light is found in you. And it's going to, even if it's not directly for your family in this way, it will be for many, to help many people. And coming through very challenging, very difficult situations and memories, you've got some grit. You must develop some grit, some power. You're not just some little tulip. Very good. Thank you. Good, my love. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste, darling.
I was sharing with you the story about few of sportsmen that they got injured in the war and they were going to climbing.
Oh, the sportsman. Yeah, last time you talked about it.
Yes.
Yes.
And you told me I show you the easiest way, then you don't need to suffer. Be out of the dream.
Yeah.
The question is that when I'm out of the dream and I see everything in front of me and all play, where is the space for inquiry? Because it seems it completes itself.
Yes.
It's only one. But at the same time, the life is going on and I'm inside.
Yeah. You're inside and outside.
Yes.
If you have completed your inquiry, it means that you know who you are, not in a sense, not in some dualistic way. You are who you are. You are that. You have found that itself, and you are that. That clarity is there. So then what happened about outside? So in say the dynamic field of life, daily life that we all know, no? Your functioning in that field is going to be a light in that field also, isn't it?
It's not exactly clear for me yet.
Yeah.
Because I feel sometimes inquiry does by itself. And I'm wondering how it's happened because I don't do anything. I'm just watching.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to check it with you.
But all of it is aspects of yourself. If the inquiry is going on by itself, it is an aspect of yourself that is moving quite spontaneously now. You see? Just as you don't, in many aspects of your life, you're not personally there monitoring things. It's all happening totally spontaneously, like that. You're coming into a space of understanding. What did you do for it? Nothing at all.
No.
Something just becomes open, and you find that you're grasping things in a new way, and much quicker than before.
Yes.
And much lighter. What
Yes.
did you do for it? Like that.
Nothing.
You're touched by grace, and it opens your mind in a different way than if your mind is working only for your ego. It is very different. It's much more struggle there. Yeah.
But it seems when I'm there, it's many things. I cannot exactly find a name for that, but maybe it's identified that lots of identity is just falling down.
Falling down.
Yeah, when I'm there.
Yeah.
It just.
Where are you now? How can it be when you are there? What's the difference with you and there?
No,
So it must be that still the play of identity, personal identity, is still operative within you, which is, it's understandable for most people, is like that. You see, you're living on two lands. One is in the land of the person, of personal life, personal thought, and so on. And then sometimes something swings into the field of being, and there you feel totally effortless. You feel happy and complete and joyful and fresh. And then somehow it swings back again into the space of personhood, and then you're concerned and worried for the world and so on. So neither of these two positions, polarities, are the complete self. No. When you're in the position to observe both of them, then you are beyond them. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel I need to stay more with this.
It's amazing how simple this pointing is, and yet how difficult it is being experienced. It is like looking in a mirror and seeing the perfect reflection of your face. Like you want to see your face, and I give you a mirror, and then you're asking me, how does it work? I don't think I've seen any mirror that comes with instructions. But even here, you are given many pointers, you see. Why you are seeing the wrong thing. And to help us to look in the correct way. And we are so habituated to bad habits that we bring the bad habits for a while. But if you persist, some correction begin to creep in, and then after a while, you become good at it. You say, no, don't do like this, do like this. But in the beginning, it seems confusing because you're not used to. You're used to looking at objects, but not for the subject. You see, everybody asking objective questions, and objective questions can only be satisfied with objective answers. But when you are searching for the subject, the perceiver, you see, how can an objective answer help you? Because the subject is not an object. How will you find the subject? I don't know what to say here now, you see. Right now, there's only a kind of mood. There's a kind of mood. It's like a bit of a tamasic wave or something. And the mind is feeling heavy or something like that. And so we are asking questions, yes, but I see, and the next moment is gone, is blown away. It's not anything. The one in whose heart and mind is beating for the truth, who knows at any cost, I must find my way home. ASAP. I must find my way home. This one will not be distracted, will not give attention to fickle things. Some of you have been here for some while now. By now you should know this. There is a fear somehow to lose our personal identity. Because while we have it, it feels like it's everything you know. I only know myself, I only know my person. You know, how can I give up my person? I said, actually you can't. You can't give it up. You can only discover more than your person. Like a dog is just used to sucking on a dry bone. And he's not putting on any weight. But still he's sucking the bone. And somebody come with a nice steak and says, "Go, come boy." Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm sucking the bone. I know my bone. So we have to shake off all that stuff. You must at least discern an auspicious question and an inauspicious question. If a question is only about phenomenality, I say there are two types of questions. There's what I call a knowledge question, where you're asking questions, how do you do this and what do I do? And that's called a knowledge question. But there's another question which I call a freedom question. It's like the one who just has to be free, doesn't want to know anything. It's, how do I get out of here? How do I get out of here? Not, what color can I paint my wall? No, how can I get out of here? I like to meet this one who just want to get out of here. Get out of here means get out of here. I want to get out of here. How do I get out of here? Don't give me another book. Don't give me a book. Just show me how to open the door. I got to get out. I got to get out. It's too stuffy in there. This is called freedom question. a freedom request. The other one is, how much square meters you think I have in my room? How many people can sleep in here? What's the quality of the air like? What is the pH value of the water I'm drinking? This one is called knowledge question. But one who wants to get out, they have a different vibration about them. Just like, I feel like a prisoner in this room. I don't want to decorate it. I want to get out. I want to burn the bloody house down. There's something exciting about this type of meeting. But sometimes you say, I want to burn the house down, Mooji, you got a match? I want to burn the house down. Then I see you after a little while and I see you putting out the fire. Put out the fire. So I thought you wanted to burn the house down. Changed my mind, actually. Okay, next question. Good one. Strong one for me. Huh? You come then? Yeah.
Hey, Guruji. So, during the last SEMA retreat, I had a bit of an opening, and it's been a bit difficult for me to be coming back into Sahaja because I'm in my quiet space. But still, there's some excitement to see all the others that were not in the retreat while we've been away for 7 days. So I don't know if it's me, myself bringing this energy or others bringing the energy to that. But no, I feel totally in my heart that something is here and I'm with you and I hear everything that you're saying.
It's even if people brought this energy to you, it is you who pick it up. Because, like I say, even the greatest salesman in the world cannot sell you anything unless you buy. You see? You have to buy into it. And sometimes you meet people and you're in a quiet space, you're in your inner space, and people come and say, hey, what's happening? And then something immediately rises up. But you have to be able to check that because there's always a space, there's always a silence inside that is there constantly. But when this excited energy comes, sometimes we don't check it, we just let it go out. And when it go out, then it's like they hit a ball to you and then you hit it back.
Yes.
And then they hit one back to you and then you hit another one back and next thing you're like this. You have to, so they hit the ball and you gotta go, yeah, you know what, I'm going for tea.
Yes,
you have to be able to
Yeah.
not take that. And actually when you do it, you feel immediately like you have exercised a greater power in not falling for that.
Yeah.
And without blaming them even,
No.
you don't, but I mean like generally speaking, without blaming them, you simply did not take the bait of that. Because sometimes they also don't want, really. And I remember I might have told you.
I totally understand that, but it's just like, because it's something's bigger that's happened, so it's just it's a new feeling. So yeah.
Then, keep enjoying and falling in love with this feeling. And the more you fall in love with it, the less attraction the other feelings will have. You just keep loving it like I loved it. You see, you just loved it because this feeling is nothing in the world has brought this, if you want to call a feeling or that inner light. It was something that is so clear, and kept away from my friends for a while, I didn't have to try too hard, actually. It was so easy just to be by myself for a bit and just relished it. And I'm sure during that time, people must have had a few things to say, one or two things to say. What's up with him, Spend a lot of time on his own. You sure he's okay? Doesn't matter. But I was somehow just falling in love with that inner space. And totally love it.
I feel like Taylor Swift, the shake it off kind of energy. But I understand what you're saying.
The energies will come because sometimes right at the point where your most beautiful opening and insight come, sometimes right there also resistances start to come and little contrary energies start to come as well.
Yeah.
And you have to hold your ground.
Yeah.
Otherwise you might feel yourself being, drifting off with them.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I come for a hug?
Yeah. Very good. I remember one time when I was in Brixton, where I live. I had one appointment with one man, and he had come, and we had sat. We had a beautiful satsang, and then we were, he was sitting down, very, very in a state of peace and feeling very chilled. I said, okay, fine. And I could hear my gate squeaking. There's a gate outside. I said, oh, somebody's coming. So I had a next appointment of someone coming just following this one. But he was feeling so chilled. I said, sit, it's okay for a minute. When I looked out, the next person arrived early. I looked out, okay, open the door. Hi, darling. Oh, hi, how are you doing? Yes. Come in. Okay, sat down. Then I said, would you like a cup of tea? This lady said, yes, I love a cup of tea. So they were both sitting in the same front room together. And I'm in the kitchen making the tea, and I start to hear chit-chat. So what are you doing? And I felt really annoyed for some reason. So I went inside the room like, what are you talking about? But it was good. I shocked myself. It was a bit strong. And what happened is that they are from the same town in Ireland. So he said, actually, I didn't want to talk. I was just sitting here, just bathing in that peaceful place that we were when before, no? But then she came in, and I saw her, we recognized each other, and she says, hi. And I said, yeah, hi. I could have just said hi. But something went, hi, and then she says, oh, fancy seeing you here. And she goes, yeah, well, and ping pong, no? Like this. So then I turned to her and I said, what about you? She says, well, I came, and I was quite disappointed, actually, to find someone else here. Because I just wanted to be quiet. I just wanted to talk with you. So what it turned out, none of these people want to talk to anybody else, okay? And certainly not to each other in the same room. Then who was having this conversation then? Huh? Just social custom, basically. You see, and some people can keep this up, ping pong, for quite a long time when both of them don't want to talk. 10 minutes of conversation. And what about so-and-so? She's doing really well. Do you know she's having a baby? No, really? I said, my God, you come for satsang. So in the end, the man got up and I said, okay, I'll see you next time. He says, thank you. And I said, okay, you come in. So not every time people come to you, that you must feel that you must give in and get into some kind of chit-chat with them. Sometimes you can say, you know what, I really feel to be quiet. And they may just say, yeah, me too. It's good. You don't have to get pulled into something because of just social habits. And yet at the same time, in another way, maybe not a big deal. It's no big deal in another way. Okay, who? I mean, when, who? You come first. Come here then, okay.
When you call like you called earlier, I just feel to come straight and full yes. And not saving any position, mental or anything, nothing to save. And I keep this in my heart, every satsang is like this. But now I said, okay, no room also for interpretation. So I just put my hand up and come. And you give everything already, and it's so clear.
Have you ever moved and realized you can never go back? Have you experienced this feeling? That something is moved inside you and you are never going to be the same again. It's not something that you are determining, saying, listen, as from now. No, it's just a deep knowing, an affirmation and a confirmation that something is just finished. It's just gone. We don't have to make any rituals about it. It's just like this. Your life is so fresh. You're not a container for the past. Let it be there. Let it be there. But it must be freshened in your presence. Something is moving in a total aliveness, but without determination. Simply, that's what is. What will have to change for that? The true life, it has to be effortless. In essence, it is. Does it mean you do nothing? No, activities will still continue. You will still use your mind, but more practically. But your mind, the mind, it will not be employed for any psychological association. It's not necessary. Because you are the self. And the mind is like time. The self is timeless. No one can evaluate you. Your life itself and the source also of life. These are not things you can say to people generally. They would not understand. Because we are so deeply conditioned into believing we are merely our bodies and our programming, our conditioning. And it goes unchallenged for the most part. We don't question these things. Life, being expressed as grace, has entered your being somehow and has brought you to that place where you can begin to look with deeper eyes, a deeper understanding, to discover things that this world cannot give you. all the external form of life what the world can give you are just some momentary flavors. It is okay also. By moment I don't mean 1 second. A momentary can be 10 years, 15, 20 years, whatever it is. But it's always changing, always changing. Only the one who is totally still can enjoy what is totally changing. Totally.
With all my heart, thank you.
Thanks to you. Very good. Can you come? Yeah, okay.
I needed to come up and just be here and recognize or confirm something that you touched and that just has been revealing itself more and more. And to see that it's true and it's who I am and it was never touched or stolen or mistaken. and it's who I am. And I wanted to share also something that there has been this recognition, but also, like you say, there's the unchanging. And also with this and recognition, also in the changing, insights have just been cleared. And something felt important to share with you, still from this before I go. Because I think for a long time there was this self-image and with somehow a lot of, like you pointed out before, the mistrust or just a lot of fear. And somehow during this time that, even in subtle ways, that had been projected onto you. And whatever was there of fear, especially towards strong male figures and all this fear of aggression or being rejected or hurt or whatever, has been burped out. And sometimes just strongly and just as emotions are rising, or more subtle. And the more subtle sometimes was the most difficult to see, because there was still an identity here, thinking that I'm not yet myself and still trying to get somewhere. And that was there, and all this effort. And somehow only with the recognition, then this could be seen as all of it, not as myself. And with the inquiry just arising naturally. And I don't know, I think something wanted to sit here to check if this is really true, am I not really afraid of you anymore? Is this story really dead? And it's just, yeah. I think something still wanted the other opposite to come, And
I feel
it's
their
nothing.
life is going to continue to confirm itself. It's not just okay, boom, is this true? Okay, good. Okay, it's true forever. No, you're going to have some space to keep looking, and find that sometimes a sense of some identities creeping in, and looking again, and just eliminating that. Don't just look for, whack, it's done, it's finished. No, but right now, you can say, right now, I'm seeing from a very clear space within myself. And where the old fears I had, which came from my projections, they are not here anymore. And so there's a sense of spaciousness with me. And I'm not afraid to meet people, or the sense of being rejected has been clarified now. That's only when I go into a state of personhood, then these feelings become alive. The feeling of being rejected, or the need to be seen, or that comes with the sense of being a person.
I think the worst was not so much towards others, was that this was coming strongly with you. Whenever the person would be back here, then this fear of you would
It has
come.
to be because I am the one who was going to catch you out.
Yeah.
Because others will not be looking so deeply, and they will engage with you, and something get hidden in all of that. Whereas when we meet, if something is not sitting right, you tend to know it, no? And
Yes.
because of that, some fear is coming, and something wants to hide. But
Because then I wouldn't be able to share it with you, because it would be so much fear of being judged and punished that
Yeah.
something would hide even from just sharing openly, like what I'm
and this
seeing.
fear and the fear of judgment and punishment is coming from me or from your imagination?
From my imagination.
Yeah, you have to be clear about it, because
Yes.
otherwise I get dumped on all this stuff. Like I'm going around like the, Sahaja police. You know, 10 days solitary confinement. I said, no, in your mind it comes because in your mind is creating all these taboos and fears to prevent you from really coming as you are, and then something is hiding back and holding back. And you see, what I have always seen in you is something that wouldn't just accept that; it would push to keep showing your hand, even if it was not quite true. Something was willing to come, and I think that is a very important, important power to bring. When you are searching, is the willingness to be open enough to be vulnerable and to say, "Look, it is like how it's being perceived at the moment." You see, it's good.
During Zimar, there was these things came with so much strength that was so beautiful that I was took to this helpless place where everything had to be left, and also that the power within me could rise enough to see that I'm really here for this, and it is true. It's not something from my mind, it's from my heart. And to leave everything out for this. And I think with that, it came that seeing, and that just that more that clear seeing that all those stories that had prevented me, they're from the past, but just not from a decision, but just from seeing it. And then with this thing, and also
But
the
now
clarity to leave them.
you keep it simple now.
Yeah. I leave everything.
Keep everything simple, because once you start to grow in words and things, and the mind is developing another kind of complexity again, and then next thing you know, if something becomes complex, for sure it's becoming personal again. So you come to a place of simplicity, things are seen in a very simple way, and more intuitively, you're sensing life more and so on. So you begin to just enjoy that and leave off trying to talk about yourself, because then it becomes personal again. And it's so easy in the beginning to keep slipping back into these kind of states, because people come to self-inquiry, they come to satsang at different stages of maturity. Sometimes people have come and really they're not that ready for this. Maybe they come because a friend came and they sit and, now and again they hear something. And so it's going to be a journey. Some of them come and they're bursting. They just want to burst. They come like a balloon full of water. They come to you. They even got their own needles. And it's okay, it's fine. So people are coming at different stage in their spiritual maturity. And sometimes we keep going to and from, forward and backwards, and this rocking is happening for a while. Gradually, combing out the noise out of your life and becoming so inwardly silent and peaceful and spontaneous and so fresh. Then you simply know there is no back to go to. And even forward you're not concerned about, because your stillness is so complete. When you are not interested in the past or the future or the present even, you have beaten time. You have gone back into timelessness. Of course you will move with your feet on the earth, it is fine. You will know when people are speaking to you, you will understand the language, but you will understand from a deeper way of seeing, and be able to guide them out of misconceptions more easy. If they're open, all of this becomes automatic. You don't have to study this. It just comes up because that wholeness functioning is already dormant, not even dormant, it's there, just unrecognized for a while. Now you're coming to the recognition of it more and more, and so greater confidence come to let go. Even I don't know if it is confidence even. I don't know if it is confidence that awakens in you. Simply, when the real is seen, the false just begin to fall away by itself. You don't have to go and take it over the hill and burn it. It goes by itself, it goes.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
And I'm leaving tomorrow. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy for this and so happy for this time here.
Yeah.
So thank you for everything.
Leaving tomorrow. Going nowhere, basically.
Yes.
Okay, outwardly.
You're with me.
Very good. Good. Thank you. Good. You can come. You come.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
Last time I stood before you, I shared that it came, find the origin of your smile and you will find your source. And you asked me, have you done this? And honestly, I didn't do it. So I began doing it. And it was, I guess, just a heart-centered I remember your story of the yogini. A dream came many years ago with the phrase, "A sweetness is entering into you, the likes of which you have never known before." And there was a fragrance that came with that. And I felt tremendous gratitude. It was very expansive. And it came strong, that same phrase, when I got here about a week ago. And along with that phrase, I was given a mantra to chant and told that it was private, to keep it private. I think in the spirit that you often tell us, keep quiet now and don't share this with the world. And this mantra came to me now, and I've been afraid of it. So I've used it sporadically, but not devotionally. Yet it felt like a spiritual name was given to me in the form of a mantra. And so then the yogini story comes of, even this is seen, even this is seen. There need be no attachment to this. But I felt to come and share it with you, and maybe now is the time to share this mantra. I think these beings count as keeping it private. Do you think it's okay? Do you think it's even necessary?
Let them absorb what I'm telling them first. If you have not absorbed what I'm telling you, then you can go try some mantra. You see? First, you absorb and understand where I'm pointing to, because that is direct. You see? That is direct. The mantras are good. A mantra you can keep reciting, recite, until it goes on involuntarily. And then it will wash your mind out. But what I'm pointing you to is directly, it washes everything in front. And then there's something it cannot wash. Nothing can wash this. Then you will know what that is, which will be quicker. Huh? You are there before all mantras, before all practices, before everything.
And this is the yogini story, that I am here before all mantras. So what is there to pay attention to?
Yourself, maybe? What is it that's here before anything, before any form is there? And your mind cannot answer this question. If your mind attempt to answer this question, we will laugh at you. It's how silly that you think your thoughts or your mind can answer this question. You must be the answer to this question. When you have understood it, when you have found it, you see, I will know you find it. You don't have to tell anybody, I found it. You see? We were watching one thing last night. We were watching on, I think everybody was watching film night somewhere. I was watching X Factor. In X Factor, it was coming, one group was coming, and they're coming on. It's their turn to go on the stage. They were getting them, hyping themselves up, and they said, okay guys, remember, charisma. I said, if you have to remember charisma, it's because you don't have any. Isn't it? You're being reminded, please remember charisma, which means you are not it. You are not charisma. Hey, remember? What is it? Charisma. Yes, okay. That's charisma. Okay? You are not charisma. That's why you have to remember charisma. So, what do you have to remember to be yourself? When even memory and remembering and reminding and the one being reminded are all phenomenal for this one. You must go there. Go there. And see who is it that can come out from there. This one thing I would give you to do. Don't do anything else, or no other kind of spiritual work. You follow that pointing. Everything is seen, everything. Don't say, I am before anything, because for now that will just be a thought. That thought must be converted into experience. Just keep looking and seeing, But I'm here to see this. It cannot be, because now it's gone. I'm still here. I cannot be that. This. Anything made of the 5 elements, I cannot be this, nor that. What is left? Okay, memory. Yeah. Also, without me, for whom does memory function? So it's not memory. Okay, him out. Go everything like this. Intellect. The powers of discrimination and discernment. Yeah. What is aware of intellect? Me. Okay. Intellect out. Everything out. And there's nothing left to take out. Then see if you can show who is there. Only this you have to do. Only this you have to do. You don't have to practice anything else. Only this you have to do. Take 2 days. Do it. Continue doing your Kama Yoga activities. That's fine. But in 2 days you must do it. Find out. When you find out something, don't go, oh, yes, I have found it. No. Who are you who will say, I have found it? Are you the finder of it, or are you it? And does it say, I found it? This is the most beautiful thing for you.
I think part of this concern was to be dismissive rather than grateful. And I can be grateful, I can appreciate, and still know I am before this. I can continue the inquiry and not get caught up in a mantra, in some gift that...
I have nothing against mantras. Mantras are tremendous, powerful in their own way. But I'm not asking you to do any. Just ask you to look. Just keep looking. And don't worry about whether you will be grateful enough or ungracious about anything. Leave those alone. Just like you're going into the sauna, you take everything out, everything off. Take everything off. Isn't it? Even your contact lens you take out, your jewelry you take off. Take everything off. And see if what remains says, I'm here. It is here, actually. I mean, it alone is that which is here and unchanging. It alone is that which is here and unchanging. Everything else is going to be, in a few minutes, a few hours later, or something. But not this. This will never be late. It will never be early. Don't worry about gratitude or ungraciousness. Don't worry. These things you don't need this yet right now. Just do it. one thing I can tell you, if you hold on to any arrogance, it will not be complete. The self will not manifest itself in an arrogant mind. Good?
Good.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. There you come.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
I had a strong shift this Zimar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, until then the mind was coming strongly sometimes in the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
And even during Zimar, very, very strong. And then in 1 second, like everything shifted without me doing anything or something. It just turned and since then I'm that without an effort. Before I was going there and keep it and great effort sometimes push the consciousness outside somehow.
Say this again, what you said just now.
Sometimes I was doing so great effort that I was pushing consciousness out of the body, but still it was something that was material somehow. It had substance. And I was confusing that with the self somehow. But now it's just immaterial.
Okay.
The ego still comes in everything, but it's not...
You don't have to call anything ego now. Forget about things. Things don't have any names. They have no meaning for that.
It's not important. All the things come. But it's easily dropped and left aside.
Mm-hmm. Your world will become a very silent place. You don't need to tell anybody about that. You just move in that space. Everything is provided in that space. Everything is provided in that space. Whatever needs to be seen will come. Whatever needs to be discarded will come. Yes will come. No, thank you. Please wait will come. But you don't know where they come from and what they're doing it.
It's so much that I don't feel it. It's such a gift, such a grace. It's not.
Human beings all over the world have not understood. We feel we're in charge. We can do, and the consciousness it plays this role. Yeah, you go over there. We will do this. Oh, next week on this where we will do this, and it's the dream. It's why it's called a dream. Because none of it is really true. Even if we say something and it came true, like this, it's not the way we intended. It might have, because the consciousness is using the mouth to speak something or to do all these things. Only when you begin to understand, you are in the inner side of yourself, begin to understand, you're entering into the field, the mind of God, you can say.
It's like all the past until now was giving up myself and my effort more and more.
Yeah.
And when it stopped, It's just here. It's the only thing that is here.
Yeah. Is the great release. Because we have a fantasy about being in control. We are afraid. We are obsessed with control. Because without the sense of control, we feel that everything will become chaotic and all life will fall apart and all of that. As though we are the ones keeping it together. We only keep our projections together. No one can keep life together. Nobody can hold life. You're not apart from life. So, yes, you continue to... Not even you cannot mature yourself. Something is maturing, refining, becoming more beautiful. Like a mango, becoming more ripe. Does the mango have anything to do with becoming ripe? As it goes, I'm going to ripen myself today. I put more energy to be more orange. No, it's just happening by itself. And so your being is ripening in the light of consciousness. It is ripening by itself. Sweet, nice, sweet.
Thank you so much. It's
Very
only by your
good.
grace, and thank you for
Very
giving
good.
me this chance.
Very good. Nice ripe mango for God. Nice price prasad.
Can I come?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good. Very good. Who is yeah?
Thank you. I have 1 week on the internet looking on talks on Ramana Maharshi with David Godman. So I found out so many about Ramana. I didn't know nothing. I have 2 years with you. So nothing. I didn't know about Papaji, about Ramana, about all the masters. I didn't know nothing, only you. So now I found out about Ramana so many things, so many. And I cried so much. But inside of me, in my heart, was not crying, was something, but outside translated like crying. And about Papaji, so many things, so many, oh my God. And David Godman sit with Papaji. And he asked him, Papaji, what you regret in this life? So he said, nothing. So after 5 minutes, he turned to David Godman and he said, I regret something. That I didn't sit to the Ramana feet, bowing to the Ramana feet. So I found myself crying that I didn't sit to your feet and to Ramana feet, bowing to your feet. So please me allow to come to your feet, to bow to your feet, please, and to Ramana and to Papaji and to all the masters.
say, to live with your head at the Master's feet is to live on top of the world. Isn't it? To live with your head at the Master's feet is to live on top of the world. Yes. And that is grace. Mind cannot understand, will not accept this thing. This is what they talk about.
Can I say something more? I dream when I sit here in Sahaja that I dream that I cover something from you, and I didn't give importance. So I didn't make self-inquiry. I say, oh my God, what I cover something from you. God put the light, and it's not me. It's something what covers something for you. So I let it like this. So I have another dream, like this week. I wanted to sit with you, like, to stay like near you like this. And inside of me, every time was this, that everybody needs you, to hug you, to touch you. But inside of me, I say, what, like, I don't need this. Everybody needs. Let go. Let everybody to go to sit with Guruji, to speak with them, to sit with them. And I was like, you good. I'm good. Like this. Everybody needs more than me. You. They need you. So I was a dream sitting here, you're near me, and I kiss your arm, and I was like bowing to your feet also. So I say, if it's not in physical life, in real life, it's in dream. This life is dream also, dream. Doesn't matter. And I said, like, Krishna, my beloved, she's so lucky and so beautiful to sit with you. And everybody, we are so lucky, so blessed to sit with you. And all your blessing go to my family, and all to blessing go to my all the friends. They told me they need your consciousness, and I was, oh my God. And I'm so happy. Throughout my heart, everything goes to everybody.
Yes.
And I want to check with you something. I don't put my attention to my heart. So, since last year, when everything happened, very blessed happened in Zimar and here also, I don't put attention in my heart. I know that I'm self. I don't know if I have to put my attention. I already listened to you so many times saying, put attention to your heart. But I don't feel to do that. It's like I'm self, and I feel grace so much inside of me. So I don't know. I need to put attention to my heart.
You are the heart, no? You are heart. Then what you need attention to go to your heart for? If you are the heart, that is automatically the attention was to bring you to heart or to bring something to heart. The attention has to come to heart. It wants to go and play around with many things. When it brings back to the heart, no, it feels happy.
Even if my attention or thoughts arise, they come and go, like you say. I don't. I make self-inquiry, so I don't put my attention in my heart like this. I feel that I'm self and heart, self consciousness. Everything is one, and I wanted to check with you.
It means the same thing. It means the same thing. Because sometimes they bring your attention to the heart, and the attention goes, no, I don't want to go to the heart. I say, okay, go then, stay there. You know? Then if you ignore him, you see, then he will have to come, because he can't exist without you.
I was feeling this, that grace takes care of everything. When you're open, everything goes, nothing remains, nothing. And also Papaji said that he have a book like this, nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened, Guruji. So I'm so grateful. I cannot speak so much from my heart, so grateful I am. Inside of me, everything speaks so nice.
Yeah.
My words are little. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. Okay. We have time for only one more person who is really, must be something biting, who's going to come. So stand up or something. Yeah, come then.
Hello, Mooji. The tests in life at the moment are very, very, very strong. And if I touch the person, I'm completely screwed. Like I came here in such a state today, just crying and crying. Life is like a horror movie at the moment, to be quite honest. Nothing else could break down. I mean, it's pretty horrific, and I just can't touch the person. Like, when I came in here, I was in the kind of, oh, why is this happening to me? Crying.
Yes.
Within 5 minutes of satsang, I couldn't hold the person up anymore, and then all problem is gone, no? But there's still something that I want to explore, because it's like the tests are so strong, and I feel like with you, the last year, something has kind of been on the home straight, if you can say it like that. Like the seeing was clear for a very long time, and then something started to happen, like this sense that the kind of the phenomenal one, like the phenomenal eye was sort of handing itself back in. It was really like a sense of reversing. Like the seeing is here and something is turning inside out, and it's like this goes all the way, and I know it. And at the same time as this sense came so strongly, like, you know, I'm coming home, life went totally crazy. And for a year, it's been totally crazy. It's like if you step out of the self for 1 second, you're going to get fried and hit somebody. So then in a way, it's like, well, what else to do then but stay as the self? But I suppose there's the question, like, what's happening? Like, what is happening?
Nothing, really.
Yeah.
Because you determine what happened by saying, you know, okay, this thing is happening.
Yeah.
Or like, it's not a big deal, then nothing is happening.
It's so strong sometimes, Guruji. It's like my body is being pinned to a bed by, I'm living with someone having a breakdown. It's very strong. It's like demons in my house. It's like, sometimes after leaving here, I can't even leave the self. It doesn't even matter if I'm being attacked. Like it really, nothing can shake the self. The second I leave is very messy.
But maybe the idea, maybe the feeling that you leave here
Yeah.
is playing games with your head.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't leave. Why you leave?
Yeah.
Physically going someplace doesn't mean you leave.
No.
The fundamental thing is not left. Really, I don't see why we make so much fuss, you know. But when I go back home, and you are home. But when I leave, you leave what?
Yeah.
You leave yourself.
Yeah.
You leave this place geographically. It's got nothing to do with it. And so the mind, what you may say, I mean, for some people, what you know what you're doing here. You don't you know how old this planet is? Do you know how long you've been here? Does anybody know this? You know how old this planet is? Do anybody know the birthday of this planet? And is this your first trip? Are you freshly baked beings who just been baked beans? Okay. Are you freshly made ones that started on your present life's birthday? Really? How we don't know? Maybe you've been here hundreds of lives. No. What is clear is that you cannot be awake and then if you had another life, come back ignorant. There must be some evolution of the consciousness that is growing back towards its source, to be free of imaginary data about existence and to be so empty, so clear, so that only the pure lights of grace and consciousness can dance through or something. You see? So it can feel like if you're doing a path, if you're making a path that say it's for 3 years. I see they have courses in some ashrams for 3 years. 3-year course in awakening or self-knowledge, Vaichara Marga, or whatever we are doing, or this different thing, different kind of 3 years, 5 years, 5-year retreat and 3-year retreat. I am just not accepting. If you stay in the mode of the person, thinking like a person, believing you're a person, trying to make spiritual journey for truth, it's going to take a very long time. And maybe a part of us want to be a long time, because many paths prescribed now, it includes the mind, it includes the ego. So the ego gets a bit of a spiritual ride. We're going there somewhere over the rainbow to the self or whatever. It is true. Okay? So it's not going to rebel because it's included. But when it is looked on and said, what's this guy? I only want to see you. Why you bring him for? Who are you talking about? Your ego identity. So we're together. Huh? Oh, but that's been the problem. From before you start your journey, then there's going to be trouble. There's going to be fight. There's going to be. Because the moment you realize that you are totally free by yourself, you're free of all trouble. All troubles come with the ego, with a personal identity. The person brings all the trouble. You see. So, and what is the prize of this? The prize is your freedom, your total being, unmolested by this egoic, psychological mind. So there's going to be a bit of fight. But if you persist, the fight will be short. If you don't give in. Because it seems like the ego side of our nature is always trying to entice you with some sweetie. And try this, and remember this, and it was really nice, and like this. So something was, okay. And so you keep dividing your power and delay your recognition. This is kind of what happens a lot. The prize, yourself, as you are, in your pure light, in the height of your being. This is why it can feel so difficult. The more difficult is because you're really onto something. You're really breaking through. And so the last fight, the last battles are beginning. If you keep on somehow giving credit to the enemy and power, somehow you only empower that as though it is something that is nothing. It's very difficult. Once you have this body, vital force, the animating power in the universe is breathing in this body, and consciousness, then the potential for some form of identity can come sometime, but it won't grow when you're in perfect understanding. It doesn't have the power to proliferate and to become many. And you have to ask yourself, like, these powers are so powerful, okay, for whom are they powerful? Then you stop right there and write the question down and don't keep changing the question. Find out for whom are they so powerful. Find who's saying that they're powerful. Who? Try and locate and identify what is saying. But my mind is so powerful. Try and see if it can be seen who is saying this. Out of which mouth are those words coming? See if you can identify. Because too easily we believe, we accept these assumptions unquestioned, and they just grow in the dark. You see if you can find the one who says, I just feel completely separated, and a voice we know very well, a voice we use very often, but see if you can find an entity from whom it's coming. See, stop and look inside. It should not be difficult. And experience your finding. Be clear in it. And if it's clear, be double clear and triple clear and quadruple clear. Keep clarifying until you wash this stain out of your consciousness. Why should these things keep coming over and over again? Because they come and they get food. Every time they come to your house, they get food. What is this food? Belief, self-interest, doubt. All this feeds the psychological mind.
Something can't help but ask, like...
Why?
It's a stupid question, but it's like the mind wants to know, but how long does the fight persist? It's like in the inquiry, I can be just annihilated. It bites so deep, the inquiry, and there's still juice in it after years of inquiring. It's so alive, It's like just one line sometimes, and poof, everything is gone, and it's easy to come there. Yet something fights so hard and so persistently and so many years. It's like,
who is it?
long?
Identify who the fighter is.
It doesn't even matter. I'm here, but something is fighting, and life is like...
And why does that affect you?
Because at some point you're in the middle of it. It's like it doesn't matter that I'm the self, even like something is just going crazy around me, and it's like, what do you want?
Because
you
are not sitting as the self. You are not sitting.
Right now, no.
As
Today,
the self. No. You're not sitting as a self. You're sitting feeling, but I am the self. Why is this going on?
But it's not always like that, Guruji. There are times when the seeing
but
is
even
really
if it happens
strong.
once,
yes, that's
you're here. To whom is anything happening? You look, even though you may say this, and you somehow your body might get crucified or whatever, still the knowing is there. This is something taking place in the phenomenal world. Something is taking place here that belongs to this world, belongs to this play. But it is not impacting upon the awareness. Awareness cannot be damaged or frightened by itself. But to know this, you have to keep on at it, looking, and confirming, and confirming, and confirming. This is how you should spend your quiet times and your noisy times. Yeah, when you go have a tea break, when you're sitting under a tree, when you're by yourself, when you're on the loo, when you're on a bus, wherever you're going, just keep checking in. It's like, what is right and wrong for this? Where is beginnings and endings for this? Where are they, beginning and ending for this? What is this? Where's the boundary of this? And know when you say of this what you are referring. Only you can know. Your parents won't know, your sister won't know, brother won't know, passengers won't know. You will know. What is the boundary for this? Like space. Can we come to the end of space, beyond which there's no space? And even space can only be perceived because of this. This space is in this also. When you contemplate like this, tell me if your mind can cause you any trouble. Where it's going to cause trouble, and to who? So maybe these things are coming as you started when you first started to speak. You say that, I have to stay as the self because the minute I touch the mind, whack.
When I'm the self, it doesn't even matter if, there's
you must take out the when.
Yeah.
When I am the self, drop the when.
Yeah. Yeah.
When are you not the self? Or when is the self not the self?
When something believes the attention is getting tangled here. It's like that belief creates a whole world.
Is it the self that's believing that directly?
No.
No. Like this. Sometimes your attention becomes so pointed that it can only watch one breath at a time.
Yeah.
It cannot look at anything else. It becomes so acute. But in that acute looking, the whole universe is present with you. More than when you're looking. No, just in that single-pointedness. Just total seeing. You are present there at the very place where the breath is arising from and where the breath is subsiding. You're right there, untouched. You must confirm this. Sometimes it comes that you are not given any choice, any space to be your person. Every time you say, even just a little bit of person, why is life so tough? No, why is life so kind as to help you beyond your own capacity?
It's like
For
that.
some it's like that.
And just like, it's a dream. It's a total dream. Like I walked in today like, every energy, oh God, sucked. Oh. And then sit down and it's like, I'm not tappable. My energy is not drainable. This is so completely whole. How could it ever be tappable? It's just a dream.
You try
It's
living as though
total
you
dream.
don't exist. Here I can tell you things like this. Try it for one day. Live as though you don't exist. You may not understand what I'm saying, but as you go, not existing, you'll come to know. And tell me when you have a better day than that. I mean it. Now, some of you I will see tomorrow. Who wants to join her with this thing? Okay, this is good. We have a deal. You can give me some report tomorrow.
Can I give you a report, Guruji? Can I come and give you a report?
Okay.
And I have to say also, I know I'm speaking from the omelette today, but like living at your feet, so much of it is just, you can't even dream that you exist. Like it's yeah.
Something is switched off, but you're not dead.
Yeah.
You don't exist, but you're not dead. Don't give it to your mind.
Yeah. Just thank you for all of it somehow. It's like, who are we to say that any of even God's love bites are wrong, no? It's like, yeah, thank you.
Good. Good. Can we have somebody's going to play some music or something? Anybody coming? Whenever your mind feels busy, and energy wants to go there, just pull him inside. Just pull him here. Bring him here. It's like you got a string here. Just pull him down inside here. Pull him down.
Love is the answer and love is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Love is the answer and love is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Silence is the answer, silence is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Trust is the answer, and trust is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Trust is the answer, trust is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Yes is the answer, and yes is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Yes is the answer, yes is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 This is the answer, and this is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. This is the answer, and this is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Now is the answer, now is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai
answer, and yes, He's the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Yes, He's the answer, and yes, He's the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Sangha is the answer, Sangha is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Sangha is the answer, Sangha is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Mooji, you're the answer, Master, you're the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Mooji, you're the answer, Master, you're the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Mooji, you're the answer, Master, you're the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Mooji, you're the answer, Master, you're the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Love is the answer.
Love is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
I am is the answer.
I am is the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Mooji, you are the answer.
Master, you're the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Mooji, you are the answer.
Master, you're the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Mooji, you are the answer.
Master, you're the way. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Beautiful. Very good. So, thank you, everyone. Very good. And thank you all, you who are joining via broadcasting, who've been very present with us as one Sangha. And we're going to take a little break now where people can go and have some chai. And you're very much invited back in about 15 minutes or so, where this part of the program, we just spend some time to look at some of the many questions that come via email, and we'll see what responses come. It's a very beautiful part of Satsang, so you're very much welcome to be here, unless you have to leave. Then if you have to leave, you will do that and arrive home safely and with full peace in your heart and full love. And bless everyone. Grace be with everyone.